Yo, what's going on, y'all? Thanks for tuning into my video today. And I got another Black Series review for y'all here today. And I've had this figure for about 2 or 3 weeks now, and I've just had a lot of other stuff going on, other figures that I've been checking out and reviewing. But I just felt like it was about time that I did this review and got it uploaded. There's a lot of other reviews out there now. I'm a little late to the party, but better late than never, you know. So, really, this is one of my favorite droid designs ever as a kid, and even now into my adult years. Single release, comes with a blast effect. It looks great. I love the color of the droid. It looks really good. I'm surprised that this wasn't a deluxe price, the $33.99. So, $24.99. I'll pay that any day of the week for this droid. And I'm glad it took the time that it did. Line started in 2013. It's 2024, so it took 11 years to get a Super Battle Droid in the Black Series, but it was well worth the wait, man. As you can see here on the box, this is the 6th figure in the Attack of the Clones subline. I love that side art, dude. It looks so badass. But let's not waste any more time, y'all. Let's get into this thing and check out the paint articulation and all the sculpting details, because this thing is just absolutely wicked looking, dude. Such a stellar release, man. So stoked for this. And here he is out of the box, the Super Battle Droid, man. What a wicked sculpt. This is definitely by far one of my favorite droid designs growing up as a kid watching Star Wars, and Hasbro just absolutely delivered with this figure, dude. This may be top 10, maybe top 5, but this is a top 10 best Black Series figure of all time, dude. I'm so glad that we got the actual correct theatrical version of the Super Battle Droid, not the animated Clone Wars version or even the kind of variant that was in the Mandalorian season 3. This is like the legit, like, authentic Attack of the Clones Revenge of the Sith theatrical version of this droid. And I've said this before in another review when I was doing an unboxing for this. Seeing the blue on the head, it looks a lot more distinguished in pictures, but in person it is not as bad. It actually gives it a really cool look to it. And even on camera, it kind of shows up a little bit more than it does in person, but doesn't really harm my opinion of it that much. And another cool thing is, I didn't play the Rebel Commando games growing up, but I know a lot of people did. They actually included kind of like a little Easter egg. You can actually pop off this face and chest panel, and you can kind of see the inner workings of the Super Battle Droid. Supposedly that was a callback to the Republic Commando game, so that's pretty cool that they did that for Republic Commando fans. As far as I don't care much about that because, like I said, I never played it, but still pretty cool that they're giving some of these older fans such as myself some little bit of a nostalgic callback. But dude, I'm in love with this figure, man. This is, like I said, one of my favorite droids. The sculpt is just so wicked. The proportions are perfect. This is the single release, so we got the blast effect compared to the C-3PO Geonosis 2-pack, which had the weathering and no blast effect. Yeah, it looks absolutely incredible, dude. I love this figure so much. And as you can see, I got 3 of them. The first couple weeks, this one that I have on the stand now has actually been on my desk. It hasn't left my desk once, but these 2 other ones I've actually had in my kind of Clone Wars prequel area of my shelf, and they look terrific, dude. But to me, 3 was like a no-brainer. I felt like 3 is just a solid number for these guys. I need some more B1s, honestly. I'm trying to stay away from buying that 2-pack with that Army Builder 2-pack with the Phase 2 and the B1, because I kind of have, I don't want to say I have enough Phase 2s, but because you can never have too many Phase 2 clone troopers, but I really just want some B1s to throw on my shelf. But let's take a look at the closer articulation and paint and all the sculpting details, dude, because this figure is just absolutely phenomenal. Just so beautifully done. And starting off here is the Super Battle Droid's blast effect. And you can see where this piece on the end kind of comes up. You want to plug it in this way. You can see where it comes up higher on this side. You want the part where you can see like how these little blast effect part, the little extra pieces, they kind of come up higher than this one on the bottom. This is where his wrist would be up underneath. But pretty nice. Nothing crazy, but it is a pretty cool addition to a single release pack. Pretty nice Nice dark reddish color to it. And getting on to the Battle Droid, man. What an absolutely phenomenally looking figure. The sculpting on this is just so wicked. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and start out on that. So there's a nice hit of red right here. You can kind of see where the line is. You can pop this chest plate off and also the face plate, but it's kind of interesting. I like the gray color. You can kind of see how it goes from this gray to this like almost gunmetal gray. I would have liked to have seen most of the figure in this gunmetal gray, but still pretty awesome. You get a look at the side of the arms right here in the blaster. Could have used a little more paint on here. That would have been nice. Like some silver even would have been nice. With the back of the figure. Just some wicked sculpting, man. Even down to the legs. As far as articulation goes, we'll just start off from the head and go down there. Well, I guess not really head, but abdomen. So we got some rotation here. A little bit of ab crunch. It goes back further than it goes. It doesn't really go forward all that much, but he does have some back motion here. Arms can get to about that far out, which is honestly really all you need for a battle droid. Arm spin 360 degrees. There is some, not really a butterfly, but it's this probably like a ball joint up in here, and you can see how that. So not really like a butterfly joint, but there is some back and forth motion. The elbows can get, you can see where it butts up to the sculpt right here, and you can get a good 90 degrees out of the elbows here. There's also swivel at the elbow. Getting down to the legs here. The legs can go that's about as far out wide as you're going to get. Can kick out straight up in front, no problem. Can also kick back all the way as well. Single joint knee here. And this is a really cool part of the engineering of this sculpt. You can see where the back of the leg, here, let me get this focused in real quick. You can see where the back of the leg, like the groove in for the calf, where the hamstring can kind of go into it. Well, it almost does. But either way, that's way below 90 for the knee right there. So that's pretty awesome. There is swivel at the knee. Not a lot, but there's a little bit. So not really a whole lot of swivel. But it is there. There's also swivel at the thigh. You can see here. And also if you look in the hips here, you can see just a dumbbell ball joint right in the socket. Kind of like an actual hip joint. So that's pretty cool. Feet can go down about that far. They can come up a little amount. And of course we have rockers as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Not a whole lot to talk about with articulation. But the sculpt and the character or the droid choice just makes up for it so much. This is such a beautifully sculpted figure. And when I first started collecting Black Series about 2 years ago, this is something that I was surprised. Like, I was having a hard time finding it in the line, and I obviously come to find out it wasn't in the line yet. And that's just really strange to me because it's such an iconic droid design from the early prequels. But it only took 11 years, and it's here now, so better late than never. I really do like this silver on the joints, man. I would have liked to have seen the contrast. I will say looks kind of cool from this kind of like primer gray to the gunmetal gray, but it would have been cool to have this gunmetal gray all the way throughout. But this is just such wicked sculpting, man. I mean, proportion-wise and design-wise, this thing is perfect. It's flawless. It stands very well. He's got he's a bulky droid, so he's got some nice weight. And he just feels good in the hands. The plastic feels awesome. Really good quality plastic. And the only thing I can really say, like I said, I pointed out earlier, it'd be cool to have more of this gunmetal gray over the entire figure. But that's a nitpick. And then maybe even some more paint on the blaster, like some silver, just some, like a little bit of a wash. Just something, man, you know. But those are just nitpicks that I have. Other than that, this figure is fucking perfect. It looks so phenomenal, man. They just did a bang up job with this figure. Knocked it out of the park. Just phenomenal sculpting, man. Like, this thing looks so wicked. Love it very much. And then this will give you a little closer look with a blast effect. It plugs in very, very easily, and it just looks so awesome. You can get him into these poses no problem. Looks like you just plugged him out of the movies. I almost skimmed over this going over articulation, but there's also forearm swivel, or elbow if you want to call it that. Well, there's the elbow. There's a swivel right here at the elbow from the bicep, and then there's also at the forearm. And then also getting to the hands, we have two horizontal hinges on both sides of the figures, both hands. And so go down about that far, no problem. Get the hand totally out the way. Comes up that far. Obviously it hits the sculpt of the blaster here. And there's also swivel as well. Or well, hold on. You can see the swivel now. But just be careful because it will, the sculpt of it will hit the blaster itself. But, well, here, let me do this one. You can see the swivel right here. There it is. So, a bit of a crouching pose here just to show off how you can get this figure. Just a very, very dynamic pose. I love this so much, man. That looks awesome. Man, they did an awesome job with this droid, man. Trying to go for like a mid-stride pose here. It doesn't look too bad. I'm not like an expert poser by any means, but I'm not too shabby if I say so myself. But just a really awesome dynamic droid, man. Like, the articulation on this, just really awesome engineering by Hasbro, dude. Y'all did a great job with this figure. We're getting to one of my favorite parts of my reviews, and this is the side-by-side comparisons. And here gonna show a little Clone Wars love. Here on the left is both of these are Target exclusive. On the left is Clone Wars General Anakin Skywalker, and on the right is Clone Wars General Obi-Wan Kenobi. And now standing in for the side-by-side comparisons, here on the left is the Phase 2 Clone Trooper, and on the right is the Phase 1. Alright, now here on the left is the brand new Darth Sidious. Tremendous figure. Go check out my review. I just uploaded that about a week ago. And here on the right is the brand new, both of these figures are actually out of 2024, actually, now that I think about it, but here on the right is the Droidka, another feat of engineering for the Black Series. And this was the side-by-side comparison I was waiting the most for, just to emulate that one part in the Geonosian arena when Count Dooku is standing there with the two Super Battle Droids when Mace walks in and confronts him and Jango. This looks freaking righteous, man. I love the way this looks, and honestly, I might have to move some stuff around on my shelf to have these Super Battle Droids flanking Dooku, because that was originally my thought of displaying these droids, but then I just kind of, when I got them, I just threw them into the display. But I freaking love the way this looks, dude. So badass. Y'all, this has nothing to do with recency bias or anything, because I have had this figure for about 2-3 weeks now. This is probably in the top 5 best Black Series of all time. This figure is just so phenomenally well done. Just wicked sculpting. The proportions are perfect. Like, I'm actually kind of glad it took 11 years to get a Super Battle Droid, because like, I don't think it would have been this good had we gotten it sooner, man. Just all the modern articulation that's come from the Black Series as of late, the past couple years. I know this doesn't have photo reel, but the photo reel also just an amazing introduction to the line that's really helped pull in a lot of collectors and keep a lot of collectors. But, you know, a lot of the time, Hasbro always does an awesome job with aliens and droids and stuff like that. In the case of droids, many of them have a hard time standing. This one is an exception. This, like I said, I've had it for about 3 weeks now, not fallen over once. Quality plastic feels great. It's got a nice weight to it. It just sits and balances so well. The blast effect is great, and it comes with a single release. $24.99, dude. I'm honestly really surprised that this wasn't a deluxe, and I'm so glad it's not. I'm not saying it should have been a deluxe. That's not what I'm saying, but just given Hasbro's track record with some things, sometimes it's hard to read what they're going to do with some releases sometimes. But for a bigger, bulkier droid, and it comes with the blast effect, that would be very typical of Hasbro to be like, oh, well, here's a deluxe for you, but it wasn't. It was standard release, $24.99, and just this may be. This is it's hard to say because it's only August. We still have like 3 more months of the year. But this may be, I'm going to go ahead and say it now, this very well may be figure of the year for 2024, man. This is among the best top 5 to top 10, maybe even top 5, like I said. But this is for sure, definitive, without a doubt, top 10 best figure in the entire line. Maybe even top 5. But as far as 2024 goes, dude, I love the Droideka. That thing is a work of art. It's a masterpiece, the engineering and time that they put into that figure. But this thing is just, oh, dude, it's so perfect, man. I have very minimal nitpicks that I have with it. And then it's nothing that would keep me from buying more. I'd buy 2, 3, 4, 5 more of these if at full price, $24.99, no problem. But if they ever go on sale, dude, I'm gonna be army building these things. I love this droid so much. Like I said, growing up as a kid, it was one of my favorite designs of droids. As soon as I see it on the screen, it just really, like, the Super Battle Droid is burned into my mind. And when I watched episode 2 when I was younger with my brother, and that one part in the Geonosian arena where all the Jedi are fighting, and that one Super Battle Droid just comes and, like, knocks the B1 out of the way and starts blasting, like, that scene and just this design of droid is just burned into my mind. Pretty cool to finally have this in 6-inch version, man. The proportions are so perfect on it, man. There's nothing else more I can say about this figure. I love it so much. Hasbro just absolutely delivered. I'm so glad that we finally have this in 6-inch. Took 11 years, but I think it was well worth the wait. Just such a phenomenal figure, dude. But I'm going to quit babbling on because I could probably talk another 10 minutes about this figure. I really do appreciate y'all checking out this video. Leave me a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Check out some of my other content. I do a lot of Black Series, majority-based content, but every once in a while I'll throw up a cool figure, any other cool figures like a Marvel Legends or whatever that I want to share my thoughts and opinions on and just share and talk to y'all about. So, like I said, leave me a like and subscribe. It's very appreciated. Go check out some of my other content. Leave me some likes on that. It's just so appreciated, man. I've gotten a lot of traffic on my channel as of late, and I really do appreciate all y'all that comment and watch, and it's just cool, man. I love talking about Star Wars with all of you. So I hope you're all having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. May the Force be with you.